The Nerf hobby is becoming ever so popular, but also much more technological as we plunge towards the future at a faster rate than ever. We have seen all kinds of designs and mods for our Nerf blasters, whether it's 3D printed models or some new technology to help fling our foam projectile in multiple ways downrange. Today, we're gonna cover one of the most advanced pieces of tech you can put into your Nerf blaster. This is the NFStrike V9. It is the latest evolution of their original Strife Select Fire kit. This kit was released in 2020 and has received multiple iterations, ultimately resulting in the evolution that we have here, the V9 kit. It's a drop-in Select Fire kit for the Nerf Strife, much like the Evolver kit on the Rapid Strike, which you saw me cover on this video right here. Should watch that after this one. This particular kit is not advertised nor displayed on the NFStrike website just yet, but I assume they will update the listing once not only this reviews out, but probably more creators start reviewing this product. I also want to assume that if you do order the current NFStrike kit, you're probably going to get this one. I'll confirm that for sure in the pinned comment below. We're going to do a full unboxing so you can see what you get in the package, go through a brief installation overview, look over the features, then do a performance demo. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so this is the JS Blacktech Gen Driver kit for the Nerf Strife. According to the email that I received from the rep that reached out to me, this is the V9 or the version 9 of this kit. For me looking at their website, it had a very rudimentary style when it first started, consisting of 3 little LEDs and the flashes of each respective LED to indicate what kind of mode you were on, leaving a lot to be desired. This one apparently has a little LCD screen, which further enhances the interactive function of the unit. Getting into the unit, you have this little black box, this cushion packaging here, 2 bags, one with a small ribbon cable and a smaller, what appears to be a ground 12 volt and 5 volt cable. And then on the larger bag, you have the driver kit. Here is your motor drive unit. Here's your 3D printed pusher unit. Seems to be something that's going to replace the jam door on your Strife. Here you have the driver board with the 2 leads coming out that are going to attach to your motor cage. And here is, it looks like some kind of interface. We're going to definitely figure this out. It does have some screw mounts. I reached out to NFStrike and asked them if they had any instructions particular to this kit, and they said they're in the process of updating them. They said I can use the instructions for the latest unit that they had posted instructions for online, which is the V7. It doesn't really give me a lot to go on. This unit looks highly revised from the last unit they had online, but I'm going to try my best to get this unit installed proper. As far as the blaster for this project, I chose the Modulus Strife. If you've been watching our videos, this was the exact blaster in our Mods for Beginners series that we use. This blaster is already equipped with Valkyrie 130 series motors, a Worker 42.5 millimeter flywheel cage, and some Worker smooth flywheels. It's already been rewired for a thicker gauge. It's already been adapted for LiPo batteries, so this is going to make things easier for us. We're going to head and open it up, start installing these components into the blaster using the provided instructions online to the best of my ability. It looks like there's going to have to be a lot of common sense, entry-level technical knowledge applied here since there's no exact instructions for this project. Without further ado, let's get right into the blaster, guys. All right, guys, so for perspective, I just want to let you know what the Strife looks like, as you may have already seen in the other video. This area right here is really not going to change much. We're going to be concentrating on this area right here. We're going to be going from a mechanical system all the way over to a Select Fire system that is electronically controlled directly via a microcontroller. Most of it is housed on this unit right here. A lot of the actual mechanical driving circuits are located on this board right here. First thing we're going to do is remove all this plastic just to give ourselves some real estate to work here. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some trimming involved here. I'll highlight those areas when we get there. Let's get it, guys. All right, guys, I want to show you what we did and how things look now versus before. This was a pretty straightforward install. I'm surprised I barely even had to look at the instructions online. Now, mind you, the instructions online actually confuse more than they educate for this kit. This is the version 9. It has a full color, high resolution display here on this jam door cover. I'll show you how that works here in a minute, but I was completely blown away at how advanced this kit is versus the V8, V7, and V6 respectively. The way that it works is it has a dual stage trigger micro switch, this little switch here and this little switch. When this switch gets tripped, obviously the flywheels rev. When this switch gets tripped, pusher actuator turns on and pushes the darts depending depending on what firing mode you have activated. The instructions online show a very rudimentary installation of the original kit, which includes a very bare bones microcontroller board that sits back here, and then you have to run all kinds of wires, do all kinds of cutting. This kit was very minimalistic as far as what I had to do to make everything fit. The old motherboard is now split into two main logic boards. We have a driver board inside this panel, which replaces your cable guide, and then you have the interface board attached to the display right here. This entire unit here replaces the jam door, as I mentioned earlier. So I tried powering this unit on with a 7.4 Li-ion, and the unit told me that it was low voltage. It's definitely meant to run strictly with a 3S battery pack. We're going to go ahead and connect that so I can show you some of the features. The unit does sense when there's darts, so you have to put at least one dart in the mag and insert the mag for the unit to work. Then to power on the unit, you just basically press the trigger. Your display is going to come on. So there you have it. As far as the initial function, you're able to fire full auto, 3-shot burst, and single burst. Now I'll show you how all of this works with the blaster fully assembled, but for now I just wanted you to see how the blaster looks with all these components installed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put her back together, put some fresh batteries in it, play with the features, and check the performance. Let's get into it, guys. All right, guys, so here you have the final product. I ended up going with a little bit of my own taste for this. Various parts from different designers. Got a little bit of Chris Vector in here, a little bit of Flagonial, a little bit of Tungsten, a little bit of Lone Wolf, but this is the ultimate look that I went ahead and went with. Battery that we went with was a custom-made 14500 Li-ion, 900 milliamp. I don't have one of those compact lipos around. I only have the bigger 3S lipos, which does not accommodate on this blaster, and I didn't want to just go crazy with battery doors. This is the most streamlined looking one that I actually like from Monochrome Industries, one of the smaller profile ones. So now we're going to go over what this NFStrike V9 kit comes with stock. This kit is not even out on their website yet. I believe they're showing up to the V7 or the V8 on their actual website, and the instructions when you download them on PDF, they're strictly for the original V6 model, which I believe had like a switch back here for the select fire. It had some kind of 3-button arrangement here with some 3 LEDs that light up in a sequence to let you know what kind of mode they're on. Very, very rudimentary, like I mentioned earlier. But this kit, I believe, is the ultimate evolution of the original Strife kit that they made, and I believe that they've refined this kit over the course of the last 7 years to what we have here today. I actually had to play around with this kit to find out how to operate it in its entirety. I wrote to NFStrike a couple of times, and they don't have updated instructions for this particular revision. They kept reverting me back to the instructions that are on their website now via PDF. I know my way around an Arduino system decently, so I went ahead and just started messing around with things, and I found out what all you need to do to really get into the system settings. As far as the settings that come on this system right out of the box, I'm going to show you right now. To power on the system, you literally just depress the trigger and the system is going to boot into the lock screen as long as you have this mode selector all the way down. Out of the box, I believe it comes with 15 or 16 rounds as the primary setting. I set it to 25 because ultimately if I primary this blaster, I'm definitely going to want to use this mag. This blaster's output is just way too crazy to use anything lower, or at least at the very minimum 18 round mag. So anyway, just to go through the modes, there is a sensor in here that senses the amount of darts, just like the Evolver kit on the Rapid Strike. I have darts in there right now just to show you the settings. I'm just clearing the way a little bit here, making sure there's nothing on this side of the camera that can get struck by darts. Right here, we go to the first setting, and that is a single dart. This is a 2-stage trigger. As you were able to see earlier in the assembly, there is 2 micro switches. As you push the trigger in, it will activate the first micro switch, which will rev the flywheels. And as you depress further, you'll eventually get to the pusher mechanism. Now there's voltages activating, pre-spin up and spin up break, which are all settings that can be adjusted on this system. For now, I'm just going to show you how it fires a single dart. That's a single dart. And as you can see, the counter went down to 24, so it's pretty accurate. The next setting is a 3-shot burst. Just like that. I mean, like I said, when I tell you guys that this is the ultimate evolution of this kit, the response is just like something I've never seen other than that of the Stratohawk that we built with this technology. Now we're going to try the full auto setting, which is all the way to the top, and it's going to say auto here on the display. That's it. As you can see, there's controls on how the flywheels wind down, as well as how much they wind it when you initially select this. Now I have this set up to 60% rev when you're not all the way at the pusher. Default, it comes with 50. And now I'm gonna show you how to control all of that. So in order to access the menu that's gonna allow you to change all these settings, you wanna put this lever on lock, and then you're gonna hold the trigger back until it says powering off, but you're gonna hold it beyond that point. And there it is. Here's the tricky part that I had to figure out kind of on my own. Since there is 2 micro switches on the trigger, one switch is going to move this menu forward, and the rear switch, which is the trigger depressed all the way back, is gonna move this menu rearward. To change a value, right here, this is the wheel power. This is how much your flywheel is gonna spin when your trigger is all the way back on the pusher. To change this value, let's say you wanna decrease your FPS because you got an HVZ game coming up, you're gonna move this lever 1 notch, and it's gonna put these arrows down where the values are. When you click the trigger 1 time, it's going to remove 50 points from this value. If you want to go back to 1,000, you're going to go all the way back on the trigger. See how it added the 50 again, and now I'm back at 1,000. If you click it yet one more time past 1,000, it'll go to the lowest setting, which is 300. And then if you want to just simply go back, you click it very, very lightly on the first switch, and it'll go back. Now I'm just going to show you everything else you could adjust. You got your mag. This is the quantity of rounds in your mag. Right now, like I said, I have it set for 25 for that 25 round drum. You got your ESC2, which is your electronic speed control for your pusher. This is a separate setting from the voltage. You could play around with different values of less voltage with higher speeds. I don't really mess around with that. I just like tackling the voltage only. You got your motor, which allows you to switch between DC and electronic speed control, which is a brushless motor. I really thought that was really, really cool how this is already brushless ready. That's actually pretty crazy. Your aimer, now I don't know exactly why this is here. It allows you to change a reticle type for your aimer. I don't see any changes on here. There is no hollow sight on this system like there is for the NFStrike. So I wasn't able to determine any reason why this is necessary. Not sure what these settings are for. The display settings has 2 of them. I don't want to change it right now because one of them actually shuts the unit off. One of the settings turns the display this way, and then the other mode is upside down. And then you have your max amperage, depending on the kind of LiPo you want. Got your pusher delta. It's just cool to see how you can adjust different things. Here's what we were talking about earlier, the pre-spin up for your flywheels. I have it at 60%. I like my flywheels to be pretty strung up. And then you have your breakage. I think it comes at 30 and I upped it to 40. Soft start is basically when you first tap the trigger, your wheels will hit 20% before they hit that 60%. So it's good to know all these values and what they do. Soft start voltage 250 compared to, you know, everything else that you have. You have EPT delta, EPT S. I'm pretty sure this is some kind of gyroscopic adjustment. Now here is where you can adjust the amount of darts you're going to fire on each selector. Default, it comes at setting 2 with a 3-shot burst and setting 1 with the 1-shot firing. Then we're back to the original menus. There you go, guys. Once you want to exit this menu, you just hold the trigger all the way and it should actually go back into operation mode. And then if you want to power off from here, you just hold it for a few seconds here until it powers off. And that's pretty much it for settings. Now we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of target practice, and then I'm going to give my lasting thoughts on this fantastic product that I honestly cannot get enough of right now. Let's get it, guys. I have to say, in this day and age where there are so many gizmos available at our fingertips, so much technology that's just palpable, there are very few things that can actually make me say, whoa. This kit is one of them. Maybe because I was exposed to it when it was at its peak design with its ease of install, but this is the most polished select fire kit I've ever had my hands on. The install was very straightforward and easy. The settings are very easy to access, and the performance and response is just so crispy and buttery smooth. I'm very happy with this product, and I'll probably be taking it to a competition to see what it can do in the field. It's just that good. In the next video, we're gonna cover another cool piece of tech you won't wanna miss, so stay tuned.